All right, buckle up, everybody, because today we are diving deep into the future, especially where AI and robotics are headed.
Yeah, it's getting pretty wild out there.
It really is. We've been sifting through a mountain of news articles, research summaries, and even some financial reports to try to get a handle on it all.
It feels like every day there's a new headline about some crazy breakthrough.
Exactly, and we're going to break it all down for you. We've got NVIDIA making waves at CES, robots that learn like a human brain, and even, wait for it, President Trump jumping into meme coins.
And on the other side of the spectrum, you've got the FBI creating its own crypto.
It's a lot to unpack, I know, but by the time we're done with this deep dive, you won't just know what's happening, you'll understand why it matters. What does it all mean for your job, your investments, even your daily life?
The future is already starting to look a lot different than we might have imagined. And one of the biggest changes is happening right under our noses. Robots are showing up everywhere.
I mean, seriously, everywhere. These sources are packed with real-world examples of robots doing actual work. Like right now, Amazon warehouses are basically robot cities.
They've got Robin, Cardinal, Sparrow, Proteus. They've got a whole avian-themed robot army working for them.
It's wild. But it's not just Amazon. We've got Agility Robotics Digit working in a Spanx factory. Halion using drones to manage their inventory. Even Luckin Coffee using robots from ForwardX to serve up lattes.
This isn't some sci-fi movie
Oh,
anymore.
no, it's happening right now. And if you think about it, it makes sense.
Remember what NVIDIA's Liberating and Agility Robotics CEO Peggy Johnson were saying?
Right, about the growing labor shortage.
Exactly. As the population ages, there's simply not enough workers to fill all the jobs, so companies are turning to robots to bridge the gap.
But, I mean, come on, robots. I have to admit, I'm a little fascinated by this Digit robot.
Oh yeah, Digit is pretty impressive.
It's 5'9", has hands that can grip, legs that fold backward.
It's like a robot butler from the future.
Exactly. Although I wonder, if robots are taking over these jobs, what happens to the people who used to do them? The warehouse workers, the delivery drivers, the baristas.
It's a big question, and honestly, a bit of a scary one.
Yeah, who's shaping this future of work? Is it the companies? Is it the government?
It seems like the big players, companies like Amazon and Walmart, are definitely driving the change. I mean, take a look at that Symbotic Walmart deal. Walmart paid $200 million for the robotics unit, plus another $520 million for an AI collaboration.
That's some serious cash.
That's not just dipping their toes in the water, that's a full-blown cannonball into the robot pool.
Okay, so big companies are betting big on automation. Got it. But it's not just about replacing humans with robots, right? There's also this whole AI aspect to it.
Exactly. Remember, Amazon is also pouring money into Anthropic, an AI safety company, and they're constantly pushing the boundaries with Alexa.
So it's not just about robots taking our jobs. It's about AI making decisions, managing our lives, maybe even writing our screenplays.
Well, maybe not that far yet, but yeah, AI is quickly becoming the brains behind the operation.
Which leads to a whole other set of questions like, are we even ready for this? I mean, are there any guardrails in place?
Well, that's where things get interesting. Governments are definitely taking notice, but their approaches are all over the map.
It's like a global AI race is heating up.
Exactly. You've got the U.S. blacklisting Chinese AI companies, concerned about national security and potential misuse.
It's like a scene out of a spy thriller.
Meanwhile, you've got President Trump pushing for a massive $500 billion investment in AI infrastructure.
So everyone is trying to get ahead in this AI game, but are we even considering the risks?
That's a great point, because as we're racing towards the future, we also need to be asking ourselves, is this technology even safe? I mean, remember that PSA certified report?
One about how AI growth is outpacing security measures.
Yeah, that one. It's like we're building this incredibly powerful engine, but we haven't figured out the brakes yet.
And it's not just theoretical. We saw that crazy story about the FBI creating their own fake cryptocurrency, Next Fund AI, to bust a crypto fraud ring.
Talk about thinking outside the box.
I mean, it's a pretty wild story, but it also shows that these risks are real.
Absolutely. As AI gets more sophisticated, the potential for manipulation and abuse is going to grow exponentially.
It's a little unsettling, to say the least. And speaking of unsettling, let's talk about crypto. It's like this whole other world of craziness.
Crypto is definitely its own beast, full of incredible potential and, well, a lot of hype.
Okay, so we've got President Trump launching his own meme coin, which of course skyrocketed on his first day back in office.
Not to mention the other tokens like Trump and Melania floating around out there.
Yeah, and you've got economists like Henrik Zayberg predicting a massive crypto bubble.
It's a roller coaster ride, for sure. But amidst all the meme coin madness, there are some interesting developments happening in the more serious side of crypto.
Right, like the fact that Ethereum spot ETFs are seeing a steady flow of investments.
That's a sign that institutional investors are taking crypto more seriously.
They're not just playing around with meme coins, they're putting real money into the underlying technology.
Exactly. And according to Joe Lubin, a co-founder of Ethereum, we might even see ETFs that include staking benefits soon.
Wait, hold on. Staking benefits, what are those?
It's like earning interest on your cryptocurrency by helping to secure the network.
So it's like getting paid to be part of the crypto ecosystem.
Essentially, yes. And for institutional investors looking for stable returns, that's a pretty attractive proposition.
Okay, so it seems like we've got two worlds of crypto colliding. The Wild West of meme coins and the more buttoned-up world of traditional finance.
It's a fascinating dynamic, and it's hard to predict which force will ultimately shape the future of this industry.
And to be honest, I'm not sure we even have time to unpack it all today, but I guess that's the beauty of a deep dive, isn't it? There's always more to explore.
We've only just begun to scratch the surface.
We've covered a lot of ground already. Robots, AI, President Trump, crypto, the FBI. It's enough to make your head spin.
It's a lot to process.
Definitely. But hey, that's what makes this so fascinating. We're living in a time of unprecedented technological change, and it's up to us to figure out how to navigate it all.
Welcome back to the deep dive. I don't know about you, but I'm still processing all that.
Yeah, it's a lot.
We've barely scratched the surface of AI, robotics, and crypto, and trust me, there are even more rabbit holes to explore.
Oh yeah, we've only just started to uncover the implications of all this. Like, remember how we were talking about the job market?
Right, we touched on it, but I think it deserves a closer look. I mean, if robots are taking over warehouses and AI is making decisions, where does that leave the rest of us?
Right. Are we all going to be replaced by machines? Well, it's not quite that simple. It's more of a transformation than a takeover.
So some jobs will be automated, but new ones will emerge. Got it.
Exactly. The key is to adapt and learn the skills that will be in high demand in this new landscape. Okay, so spill the beans. What skills are we talking about?
Well, one of the most important skills will be critical thinking.
Critical thinking. Okay, tell me more.
It's going to be more important than ever to be able to analyze information, identify biases, and make sound judgment.
Right, because we're going to be bombarded with data from every direction.
Exactly. And we need to be able to sift through it all and figure out what's real, what's fake, and what actually matters.
Machines might be great at crunching numbers, but we're still the ones who need to understand what those numbers mean. What else? What other skills should we be focusing on?
Creativity will also be highly sought after.
Creativity. Interesting. How so?
Machines are great at following instructions, but they're not so good at coming up with original ideas or thinking outside the box.
Right, that's where humans excel.
Exactly. We need to be the ones driving innovation, not just passively consuming what machines produce.
So it's about complementing machines, not competing with them. But what about the human touch? Will there even be a need for things like emotional intelligence in a world dominated by robots and algorithms?
Emotional intelligence is going to be crucial, maybe even more so in the future.
Really? How come?
Think about it. Whether it's in customer service, teamwork, or leadership, the ability to understand and respond to human emotions will always be valuable.
I mean, I guess robots can't really replicate empathy or compassion, right?
Exactly. Machines might be able to mimic human interaction, but they can't truly understand or connect with us on an emotional level.
So it seems like the jobs of the future will require a blend of technical skills, soft skills, and a willingness to learn and adapt constantly. It's not just about being a tech whiz, it's about being a well-rounded, empathetic human being.
Exactly. And that's what makes this whole conversation so fascinating. It's not just about the technology itself. It's about how we adapt and evolve as humans in this rapidly changing world.
So we've talked about the impact on jobs, but what about the impact on the planet? All this AI, robotics, crypto, it all requires a lot of energy, right?
It does. And that's something we can't ignore.
So we're not just talking about the future of work, we're talking about the future of the planet too.
Exactly. As AI and robotics become more prevalent, the demand for computing power and data storage will skyrocket, which means more energy consumption and a greater risk of carbon emissions.
So it's a double-edged sword, incredible potential, but also some serious risks.
Right, and that's why it's so important to have these conversations.
Yeah, we need to be thinking about the bigger picture, not just the shiny new tech toys.
Exactly. We need to find a balance between innovation and responsibility, between economic growth and environmental sustainability.
It seems like a recurring theme in this deep dive is the need for balance. We can't just blindly embrace new technologies without considering the
We
consequences.
need to be having these discussions,
Yeah.
weighing the pros and cons,
Yeah.
and figuring out how to navigate this new world in a way that benefits both humanity and the planet.
Well said. Well said. We've covered a lot of ground today. Welcome back to the deep dive. We've been through a lot, haven't we?
We have AI, robots, crypto, the FBI.
Yeah.
It's been a wild ride.
It really has. But now it's time to kind of come up for air and think about everything we've learned. All this groundbreaking tech, potential changes to jobs, and even the impact on the environment.
It makes you wonder what's next. What does it all mean for us?
Well, I think that's the beauty of this whole deep dive, right? It's about giving people the knowledge to understand what's happening and maybe even make some decisions about how they want to approach it all.
Exactly. We're not just throwing information out there. We're trying to give people the tools to navigate this new landscape.
So, as we wrap things up, any key takeaways you want to highlight? What do you really want people to remember?
Well, the first thing is that AI and robots aren't just sci-fi fantasies anymore. They're here.
They're real, they're evolving fast, and they're already having a huge impact. I mean, think about it. From robots in warehouses to those algorithms that seem to know what you want to buy before you do, it's all around
Yeah,
us.
it's just going to keep growing. Which brings us to the second takeaway. This stuff comes with both opportunities and challenges.
On the one hand, you've got incredible potential for things like increased efficiency, totally new inventions, and even solutions to big problems like climate change.
But there are also some potential downsides. Like we talked about, jobs are changing, which means we need to adapt and learn new skills if we want to stay relevant.
We also have to deal with security risks, which only get bigger as AI gets more powerful.
And of course, there are the ethical questions. How do we use this tech responsibly? How do we make sure it benefits everyone, not just a select few?
It's a lot to think about, and honestly, sometimes it feels a little overwhelming.
I get that. But the important thing to remember is that we're not powerless in all of this. We have the power to shape the future.
Right, this isn't some predetermined destiny. We're writing the story as we go.
This whole deep dive has been about giving you a glimpse of the possibilities, the good and the bad. Now it's up to you to decide what you're going to do with this knowledge.
Are you going to sit back and just let it all happen? Or are you going to be a part of shaping this future? Are you going to learn and adapt or risk being left behind?
That's what we want people to take away from this. Keep exploring these topics. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to challenge assumptions.
The future is a team effort, and we all have a part to play. So thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI, robots, and crypto. We hope you found it informative and maybe even a little inspiring.